questions for Coach and Willow?
How long did it take to get the nerves settled down and just kind of get to business?
Probably 2 points.
Yeah.
I'm too old, so I just have to get over that part, and I've played in so many matches now that that's like not even part of my game anymore, and it's just making the people around me comfortable. That's where I'm at, so.
She's been practicing that answer.
What'd you think, Matt?
Yeah, I was happy with a lot of things. This group is just really ready to play other people. That's kind of where we're at right now. You know, we had quarter system, and sometimes you don't get a ton of breaks with our schedule. So we had this. We have beach season. We come right off beach season. We're playing the spring season, and then this year we went straight to Europe as soon as finals were over. And we had Europe for 12 days, and these guys were back, and they had summer school classes, and they're playing open gyms and still working out. I think that in camps, we had over 1,200 kids at camp that they're entertaining and being with, and then they probably had 1 week, and then we reported. So I mean, it kind of feels like we're in mid-season form as far as our fitness level, kind of where we're at, our movement, our teamness. Like there was a lot of really good team plays, which you don't see opening night generally. Normally that takes a little while. So especially the older players, which there's only a couple, but the older ones, they looked very sharp to me, I thought. So I thought that was good. You never know how the younger players are going to react. So that was really, I was actually really excited for today because as a fan, as a volleyball fan, I'm excited just to see what we would be like, how people would react. And I was very impressed. So I mean, there's obviously a lot of things for us to work on and get better. But as far as an opening night, how our nerves were, how we interacted as a team, how we moved, how we looked, I thought it was pretty sharp.
And having 5, 6 freshmen playing around me, like I felt like they were just already matured out there on the court, like they're playing at our level, which was great too. Like being next to them, they were making me feel comfortable and vice versa. So.
Yeah, there was a time when I subbed Willow out and Veronica was in the back row where we had 5 freshmen and a sophomore on the court. So I mean that's kind of wild, but they're not your typical freshman.
Coaches, tonight, the rotation that you ran with tonight, I noticed you started B. Wetton, the true freshman. You had a lot of defense back there. Is that kind of your plan for as this early season moves on, or are you going to move some things around a little bit here early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, I've told the group, really because there's so many new parts, I just want to see what all the parts are going to do. What are they capable of? It's like a lot of new toys. You just kind of want to play with them all and see which toy's your favorite, Is that weird? It's okay.
No, it makes sense.
It makes sense, okay. And so I just, we're kind of experimenting, kind of just seeing, who plays well together and how the personalities are together and if it's cohesive or not. So I just wanted to start with the 3 older players in the front row right away, so hopefully with the nerves you talked about, they could handle themselves better, and I patted myself on the back. I thought that was a good move, so that's why Taylor Williams started in the back row, which means B. Wetton was in for her. And then it allowed Willow, Veronica, and Brooke to be in the front row right away, and I thought that just kind of got us in a rhythm really early. And then, we do a lot of things well. We're really big. No matter what we do, we're big. Like Veronica Stone's the 8th tallest person on our roster this year. So I mean, that just tells you the type of size that we have, and these guys can move and pretty agile. So I think no matter what we do, whatever lineup we put out there, if none of Villers and Kylie are your small blockers, they're not small. They're still elbows over the net. So I think there's just a lot of different looks we could give teams, and I mean, you got to have ball control to win big time games. So I thought B did great. I was really proud of her, and we're gonna really need her as the season goes on to help with Georgia and Brooke, bring some ball control. And this kid dug some balls, which
Yeah.
come on, what are you doing?
Who would have thought?
Oh, I think you would.
Do you plan to have Kylie Robinson as your main setter, or do you want to sprinkle in, at least for as the season goes on as well?
I mean, Kylie I thought was fantastic, and she was very selfless last year, letting August Rasky play the full time, in redshirting, and I think Kylie's ready to go. She looked, I thought, really good. I mean, we had 1 hitting error for the first. We only had 3 hitting errors overall. That's not bad for her first match. To hit 507. But at least for is also very talented, and Morgan Lewis is very talented. And so, how do you get them involved? And they need time right now. We need to see what they can do. A 6-2 is for sure something that we can do, or a double sub if we want to get bigger or have a little bit more offense, or just give a different look to another team. I mean, so we need to. Again, our sport is interesting because of the way we do subs. So it's not always easy to just throw people in there for a point and come out. It's like you can't really do that. So you have to be a little more calculated with your substitution patterns. So they got some look, they got their feet wet, they see what a game's like, you know, and now they can keep learning from there. So.
Willow, was there any rust tonight? You obviously played really well with, I think it was 12 kills, but was there any rust from not having played a match since December, or do you just feel like you're absolutely ready to go for this season?
Are you talking about like my surgery or?
No, just having the first match of the season. Were you working on some kinks at first, or?
I would say no, because we've already been in the gym like the entire summer, and so that's the time to work out the kinks and all that and practice. And personally, like, practice is a time for me to make mistakes, and then when it comes to games, like, I have to be smarter with what I'm doing. You know, if the set's not right, making a shot or putting it in a place to make them move. So I would say, like, I didn't really have to work out any kinks. It was just focusing on my game and the people around me.
Kind of on what you mentioned before, the team coming together, just what is your experience, you know, how long does it kind of take for you to get a sense of how good this team will be and what its final configuration is going to look like?
Yeah, I mean, I think because of our inexperience in fall matches, the ceiling is very high. You know, just because they you know, a lot of the players don't know what to do yet in a lot of situations, but all of the ability is there. So it's how quickly can they become savvy and mature players. What's been really important to us is Willow and Veronica and Taylor Bork, who's not out there with her injury, but their leadership has been amazing. I mean, they're three true captains that are they're doing everything right, and they're allowing, you know, 10 freshmen and a sophomore to feel comfortable, you know, really quickly. You can tell. I mean, those young kids didn't look stressed to me at all. You know, they played pretty free. That's amazing considering kind of the roster that we have. So I just think, you know, as they continue to feel more comfortable and get in these situations and see that they can do it, you know, at this point right now, there's a lot of them thinking like, can I do this? They don't know yet. They don't know how good they can be. And now, you know, Carson goes, you know, hits 1,000. She was wondering if she could play volleyball at this level until she gets out there, doesn't. And you're like, oh, yeah, I can do this. And now once you start getting some confidence, now what can you start doing? Start having fun with it. Kylie, the same thing. They've been sitting there watching our team for a year, not doing anything, you know. So for them now to see like, oh, we can do this. I think now, you know, they just keep learning, and if we're good coaches, we can really help them along. But, you know, we're really big other than that, and we control the ball very well. And those two things should equal a lot of success. We serve the ball well. You know, we kind of do all the pieces right. So it's just a matter of, you know, being emotionally and mentally stable and checked in all the time and focused, and a lot of good signs, you know. But that's only going to escalate, I hope.
It's a question for either of you guys, but how did you feel about Brooke Nunneviller tonight and her debut as outside hitter?
She looked awesome.
Yeah, she's amazing. You know, she's really. I mean, people are like, how can you move her from libero? I'm like, well, just come watch her. You know, you can see it doesn't mean she's not gonna have some bad games hitting or blocking or whatever, but like she really is the one that makes the whole thing go. She's just that player for us, you know. There's gonna be times where she's not gonna have a great hitting night, but then she'll pass more, or she'll serve more, or she just affects the game in so many. You know, she was our best server tonight, her Willow. You know, she had multiple runs. She just passes everything. I bet she passed an extremely high number, which allows us to get the ball to Veronica and Willow and do some different things. There's just so many things she does. She chases the ball into the stands. I mean, that sets a tone. You know, I mean, that sends a message to the other side. Like, you're not gonna have any easy points tonight because none of those are on the other side. And it's contagious. Like, if you're playing with her, you're gonna do the same thing because you don't want to be left behind. You know, she doesn't get all the stardom. You know. This one's gonna go get a bloody nose somewhere because none of them does it, you know. So she's just so important to us.
Anything else?
Thank you.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.